Welcome to Lake Effect Radio, you guys. This is your host, DJ Jmoney, and you're looking at a little segment called Sports Talk. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about everything, from college football to the NFL to the NBA. Now, before I start the show, I want to give a little shout out to my little bro, Seth. He is a freshman in high school at Beechwood High School. He is a freshman, and he made the varsity soccer team this year, and I could not be more proud of him. He is an incredible player, so gifted, and I really think he's going to go all the way someday. So shout out to you, buddy. Love you. And before we get started, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we will start. See you guys.
Hey, what's up? This is Tyler from Before the Streetlights, and check us out on Twitter at BTSLOfficial.
If you enjoyed card games, tabletop games, video games, or more, the Lakeland's Gamers Guild is here for you. They are also looking for more student members for our organization. The Gamers Guild is a diverse student organization that covers all parts of gaming. If you're interested, please come to our meetings. They are every other Thursday at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in S217, or also stop past our office in S232 for more information. Cleveland Agora, Autumn Agora 2, one night, two stages, with performances from the Moxies, New Moon Rising, Window Dogs, and many more. Saturday, November 26th, the ballroom and the theater stage, the Cleveland Agora. Tickets are in advance $10 or at the door $14. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. For tickets, please email namelessmusic.7@gmail.com or call 216-392-7273. It's a local music spotlight here on Lake Effect Radio. Temple 8, the big picture.
Welcome back, guys. This is your host, DJ Jmoney. What is up? Now, first off, we're going to start off with a little bit of college football. Now, this week was a huge week in the era of college football. We had 3 of the top 4 teams in the rankings fall. You had Michigan lose to Iowa. You had Clemson lose to Pittsburgh. And then you had... Let me look here. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, that's right, in Washington. So Michigan, Clemson, and Washington all lost in pretty close games over the weekend. Scores were Michigan lost to Iowa 14-13 on a last-second field goal. Then you have Clemson, who also loses on a last-second field goal. And then Washington, they lost by a pretty good margin, 26-13 to USC. All three of the top 4 teams gone. They're not out of the college football playoff, I would say, but they're on the edge. And so this week, they switched up the polls a little bit. They switched it up, and it looks like here is the new AP Top 25. So I'm going to go over each team with you guys. Number 1, you have Alabama. And last week, they crushed Mississippi State 51-3. That was obviously no contest. Alabama's too dominant right now in the college football world. With Jalen Hurts and Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver, they just have too much firepower going on right now. Then you have our lovely Buckeyes, baby. Ohio State Buckeyes winning against Maryland 62-3. And what was funny is the game before that, when they beat Nebraska, number 10 Nebraska previously, it was the same exact score. So that doesn't happen too often. That's pretty odd. Then you have number 3, Louisville, winning 44-12 against Wake Forest. They were struggling for most of the game. They were losing all throughout, I would say, halftime up until the third quarter. And Lamar Jackson got them back on the right track, and they stormed back, and they won the game, scored about 32 unanswered points to win the game. Then, obviously, I spoke about Michigan losing 14-13 on a last-second field goal. And as you all know, Iowa stormed the field, and they went nuts. At number 5, Clemson, who went down 2 spots. Like I said, they lost to Pittsburgh, and on the last-second field goal. Wisconsin, they defeated Iowa 48-3. They move up a spot to number 6. Then you have Washington at number 7, falling down 3 spots from the loss taken from USC, 26-13. Then you have coming in at number 8, moving up a spot, Oklahoma, defeating number 25 Baylor last week, 45-24. And then Penn State moving up 3 spots. And with their defeat against Indiana, 45-31, they didn't seem like themselves. They didn't seem like a top 25 team at that point against Indiana. They were pretty much struggling, but they got back into the swing of things, and they pulled it off on a last-second fumble recovery for a touchdown against Indiana, and that sealed the deal for that win. And then coming in at number 10, you have West Virginia. Close win against Texas, winning 24-21. And that's the top 10 for right now. Next, we're going to go through numbers 11 through 20. Coming in at number 11, you have Utah. Moving up 2 spots, they defeated Arizona State 49-26. Number 12, Colorado, moving up 4 spots by defeating Arizona 49-24. Coming in at number 13, moving up 4 spots, defeating Texas Tech last week in a very tight game, 45-44. Then you have a huge shocker, which is a huge shock this year to me also. First time they've been ranked at all in their whole history, Western Michigan. Now that's a shock. Not too many people know this team. It's coming out of the MAC conference, and they're not your typical team that would usually come out undefeated. But you never know. Surprises happen all the time in the college football world. And they're at number 14, defeating Kent State last week, 37-21. And they didn't even seem like a top team playing them. They struggle against Kent State, but they somehow managed to get the win. Then coming in at number 15, obviously I told you, big win against Washington, 26-13. Coming in at number 16, moving up 3 spots, you have LSU defeating Arkansas 38-10. 17, Florida State, moving up 3 spots to Boston College by defeating Boston College 45-27. Here's also another shakeup in the top 10. Forgot to mention Auburn. They lost to an unranked Georgia team 13-7. Pretty close game. Very close game, but they weren't able to handle them. So they dropped 10 spots. That's a huge drop from the rankings. Not looking too good for Auburn. Then coming in at number 19, who we blew out the week before we blew out Maryland, Nebraska. I'm shocked still. They beat Minnesota 24-17, moving up 2 spots. And then you have at number 20, Washington State, who is 8-2, moving up 3 spots, defeating California 56-21. Sorry. Now we're going to look at the bottom. Now we're going to look at the rest of the top 25. So 21 through 25. Florida, who is 7-2, moving up a spot, defeating South Carolina 20-7. Coming in at number 22, you have Boise State, moving up 2 spots, defeating Hawaii 52-16. And then a close loss for Texas A&M coming in at number 23, dropping 13 spots all the way down to the number 23 spot, losing to Ole Miss 29-28. San Diego State coming in at 24, defeating Nevada 46-15. And this is a shock. Didn't expect this team to come out in the rankings. Troy. I think they're from the Sun Belt Conference, defeating Appalachian State 28-24 in a pretty close game. So there you have it. That is the Week 12 top 25 rankings. We're going to take a short break, and after the short break, I'm going to go over a little bit about the Big Ten race because, you know, our lovely Buckeyes right now, they moved up to rank number 2, but we're in a hole a little bit. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about that after the break, and enjoy.
It's a local music spotlight here on Lake Effect Radio. Temple 8, the big picture.
Welcome back, guys. This is DJ Jmoney. So now, like I said before the commercial break, we're going to discuss the Big Ten. Now, right now, the Big Ten is in a whole bunch of chaos, especially with the Big Ten East Division. But first, we're going to start with the Big Ten West. Big Ten West is pretty simple right now. It's between two teams, Wisconsin and Nebraska, to win the Division West title. And currently, right now, they're tied, but Wisconsin holds a tiebreak over Nebraska since they beat them. So, if Wisconsin wins out, they'll most likely make it to the title game. And Nebraska, on the other hand, they need some help. So, if Wisconsin's lose, or any of the other teams in the East beat Wisconsin that are still on the schedule, Nebraska, you'll have a chance. But that's the West. So it looks like Wisconsin's going to make it, most likely, but you never know what's going to happen. And now we're going to talk about the East, which is a huge issue, especially for Ohio State. Since Michigan's loss, we have a less likely of a chance to making it into the Big Ten title game. Penn State, they beat us. So what that means is they hold a tiebreaker over us. And we have a less likely of a chance to making the big title game. So what we need to have happen is either Michigan, well, obviously if we beat Michigan on our final game of the season and have Penn State lose one more game, then we'll have a chance at a Big Ten title game. But if we don't beat Michigan and Penn State wins out, and it most likely looks like they're gonna win out because I don't think they have a tough remaining schedule. Let's see. They're playing Rutgers. Now we blew Rutgers out by a large margin. I don't think they're gonna have trouble with Rutgers, and then a struggling Michigan State team that's been awful all season. Yeah, it looks like Penn State may run the table and make it into the Big Ten title game, unfortunately. But there's always a chance. There's always that slim margin of a chance that Ohio State can get in. And we're going to look at the percentages of right now of who can win, who is the favorite to win the Big Ten. As of right now, based on ESPN's FPI, Wisconsin now has a conference best 36% chance to win the Big Ten. But that's only if Penn State makes it into the Big Ten title game. Now, if Ohio State makes it or Michigan makes it, I think it's the percentages are gonna flip. I think Ohio State, if they make it, they'll have a better chance over Wisconsin. Even though it was a tough game in Camp Randall at their stadium, we'll have a better chance of beating them. So we've beaten them before. It was close, but we did beat them. And then Michigan, on the other hand, I know they've beaten Wisconsin. They'll actually also have a good chance of beating them in the title game if they make it. But it looks like, says Penn State boasts a slight edge to win the Big Ten East. The Nittany Lions have a 46% chance to earn a spot in the Big Ten championship, followed by Michigan at 43% and 11% for Ohio State. Doesn't look good for the Buckeyes right now, but you don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, there's chaos all over the place in the college football era right now. And then it looks like there are 3 teams almost about to make bowl eligibility in the Big Ten. It looks like Indiana, Maryland, and Northwestern, but they do not face any easy teams. They face some tough teams this weekend, and I do not see any of them possibly winning. They could, but I would say Indiana. Let's see. Looks like Indiana, I would say, has the better chance by playing Michigan. Maryland, against Nebraska. I already know Nebraska's probably going to blow out Maryland. They've been playing awful, especially what we did to them this past weekend. And then Northwestern facing Minnesota. That should be an interesting matchup. I see it being a close game, but still see Nebraska losing. I mean, Northwestern losing. I see Minnesota beating them. Okay. Well, you guys, that is the college football. We're going to head over to the NFL. And before I talk about the NFL, we're going to take a quick short break, and I will be back after these messages. Peace, guys.
We get it almost every night, and when that moon gets so big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling.
Watch us live at www.livestream.com/lakeeffect.
Now, more than ever, a college education is a necessity. If you want to get ahead, then Lakeland Community College is here to help. Lakeland's tuition is low, and classes are offered day, night, weekends, or online. You can get a college education conveniently and affordably. Earn a degree, start a bachelor's, or upgrade job skills. Lakeland has the education you need for today and tomorrow. Lakeland Community College. Opportunity starts here. Visit lakelandcc.edu. lakelandcc.edu.
Employer on campus, Progressive Alternatives, now hiring, house coordinator and direct care staff. Tuesday, November 15th, 2016, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Bookstore Hallway A building. Dress professionally and bring your resume.
Are you a single mom? If you are, there's a program called SMART, or Single Mothers Achieving Real Triumph. SMART is a support, networking, and scholarship program which helps single mothers achieve academic success. The requirements: you must participate and be a new student either in your first or second semester in college, have demonstrated financial need, or attend colleges on Tuesdays and Thursdays, at least 6 credits, and you must be available to attend workshops. Students must be enrolled in English 0111 or English 1111 to participate. This is an on-campus daytime program, and some of the program benefits are: you can gain access to resources which are available to students that you might not otherwise know about, acquire skills to help you interact effectively with instructors and college personnel, and meet weekly for support and networking. If you're interested in this program, give a call to the Women's Center at Lakeland Community College at 440-525-7322 or email vwilliams@lakelandcc.edu.
Welcome back, guys. We are now going to discuss the NFL. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Yeah, like every week it seems like. The Browns, of course. Yeah, they lost 20-7. That's no surprise there. What are we going to do? Our brownies? I mean, I don't know what we're going to do right now. Are we going to fire another coach in the offseason? Or are we going to try to get something going with us by getting a good draft pick over the summer? I don't know. But something's got to turn around for the Browns because we just lost another game and going to our worst start in NFL franchise history, 0-10. And the Ravens go to 5-4. Top performers in that game: Joe Flacco, 30 for 41, 296 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. While ex-Browns running back Terrence West, 21 carries and 65 yards. Reception yards for Rashad Perriman from Baltimore, 3 receptions, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. Then you have, next up, Packers versus Titans. Now that game was awesome. I did watch a little bit of that game, and it was a great, exciting game to watch. The Titans won 47-25, beating the Packers, while the Packers moved to 4-5, and the Titans moved to 5-5, even at 500 on the season. Top performers in that game: Aaron Rodgers was 31 for 51 with 371 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing from DeMarco Murray, he had a great game. 17 carries, 123 yards, and 1 touchdown. And receptions for Devontae Adams, 6 receptions, 156 yards. What confuses me is, why isn't Delaney Walker on here? He had an amazing game yesterday, scoring 2 touchdowns. He had a great game. I don't know why he isn't on here. Should have been one of the top performers. Next game, you got the Vikings versus the Redskins. And the Redskins causing the Vikings their 3rd straight loss after a 5-0 start. Or I think 4th straight loss. Redskins beating the Vikings 26-20. Vikings moving on to 5-4. And Redskins 5-3 and 1 tie. Now, top performers in that game. Passing, it looks like Sam Bradford from Minnesota, 31 for 40, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing from Robert Kelly out of Washington, 22 carries, 97 yards. And receptions from Stephon Diggs, 13 receptions and 164 yards. Next game, looks like we have the Bears and the Buccaneers. It looks like the Buccaneers defeated the Bears 36-10. Bears lose and they move on to 2-7, while the Bucs gain a win and go on to 4-5. Top performers in that game, it looks like passing from Jameis Winston out of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 23 for 33, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rushing from Chicago's running back, Jordan Howard, 15 carries and 100 yards. And receptions from Tampa Bay's wide receiver, Cameron Brate, it looks like. 7 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Here was an interesting game last night, guys. Chiefs versus Panthers. Now, that came down to the wire. The Chiefs made a huge comeback to win it against the Panthers, beating them 20-17 and defeating them on a last-second field goal. Chiefs moved to 7-2, and I think they're tied for first in the AFC West, and Panthers losing yet another game. They lose and fall to 3-6. Top performers in that game, passing from Cam Newton, 23 for 38, 261 yards, and 1 touchdown. Rushing from Kansas City running back Spencer Ware, 13 carries, 61 yards, and reception from Tyreek Hill out of Kansas City, 10 receptions and 89 yards. The next game looks like we have the Falcons and Eagles. The Eagles defeated the Falcons 24-15. The Falcons moved to 5-4, and the Eagles won and also moved to 5-4. Top performers for passing, Matt Ryan, 18 for 33, 267 yards, a touchdown, and a great game out of Ryan Matthews yesterday, or over the weekend, I mean. Rushing for 19 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is on my fantasy team, and he had one heck of a game. He scored, I would say, about 27.9 fantasy points. That's huge in fantasy football. So he had a great game there, really gaining a lot of points for me and my team. And then reception yards for Julio Jones, looks like 10 receptions and 135 yards. Next game, you have so used to calling it the St. Louis Rams. It's now called the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams versus the New York Jets. The Rams defeated the Jets 9-6. Rams moving to 4-5, and the Jets falling to 3-7. Top performers in that game looks like Case Keenum going 17 for 30, 165 yards. Rushing by Matt Forte out of the Jets, 20 carries, 98 yards. And Kenny Britt for the Rams, 7 receptions and 109 yards. Then you have also a great game. I also watched that game last night, yesterday. The Broncos versus the Saints. That was a great game. The Broncos win 25-23 on a blocked field goal. Now, that doesn't happen too often to end a game. A blocked field goal scoring 2 points for the win. They moved to 7-3, while the Saints fall to 4-5. Top performers in that game. Drew Brees had a great game, even though they lost. 21 for 29, 303 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Rushing from Denver, Devontae Booker, 24 carries, 75 yards, and receptions from Brandon Cooks out of New Orleans, 3 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Next up, we have, looks like the Texans and the Jaguars. Texans beat the Jaguars in a close game, 24-21. Texans moved to 6-3, and the Jaguars fall to 2-7. Blake Bortles was 32 for 49, 265 yards, passing, and 2 touchdowns. Rushing from Lamar Miller, 15 carries and 83 yards. And Allen Robinson, also another fantasy player of mine. He had 9 receptions, 107 yards, and 1 touchdown. I know you guys are probably getting old of me saying all these scores. I'll say one more that I thought was a great game, and then take a quick commercial break, and then we will close out the show. I would say all these games were great to watch, but I think the one that really stood out to me was the Cowboys versus Steelers game. That was a great game. The Cowboys defeated the Steelers 35-30 on a last-second rushing touchdown by Zeke Elliott out of Ohio State. Cowboys moved to 8-1, winning, I would say, 7 straight games, and Steelers falling to 4-5. Top performers in that game: Ben Roethlisberger was 37 for 46, 408 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He played a great game, even though they lost. So whoever had him on their fantasy team racked up probably a lot of points. Rushing for Zeke Elliott, 21 carries, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Receptions from Antonio Brown, 14 receptions, 154 yards, and a touchdown. And there you have it, guys. Those are some of the scores from over the weekend yesterday through the NFL. Now we're going to take a short break, and we are going to come back for closing segments. Take care, guys.
Too tired to make it. Need my breath so I can walk. And if I need some other love, then you give me more than I can stand. When my smile gets old and faded, wait around, I'll smile again. Shouldn't be so complicated. Just hold me in there. Or just hold me again. Can you help me? I'm bent. I'm so scared that I'll never get put back together.
Welcome back, guys. You are listening to DJ Jmoney. So before I end the show, I want you to listen to a really cool song, I think, related to this awesome football weekend. So hope you enjoy. It's called Unstoppable by The Score.
There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. Every spotlight, every soundbite, everybody who gave up is just a fuel for wanting him more than anybody against us. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming now, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Hoping you guys enjoyed that song. That was Unstoppable by The Score. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And remember, stay dedicated to your sports teams. And remember, peace out, guys. Have a good one. You are listening to Lake Effect Radio with Sports Talk. Peace.